There's Mr. Frank. What is that in the second one? California with wings? You doing a California tourism commercial now? Is that what they're paying you for? Okay, baby, we're in your episode 4. Got even more cringe. Keep watching. Keep watching. I don't know how you're doing one episode at a time. Also, Jim Henson doc on Disney Plus. I'm going to need to watch. Go for it, my friend. Go for it. I hope it's not like a Jim Henson doc where he's doing awful, vile things to people. I hope it's just like a fun, let's watch a Muppet thing. I watched something on, I don't know what, one of the metal sites, Loudwire, one of those. Baby Frog. I hope it's about Martha stalking Kermit. And it's like all of the people that Sebastian Bach fought with or is still fighting with. And this dude has fought with like, I don't know, like 15 people. And the sad part is because I'm old, is about 12 of them, I don't even know who they are. They're like naming bands, and I'm like, I've never heard of that band. I don't know who that is. And I don't know who this guy is. They're talking about his feud with John Bon Jovi. And he's like, yeah, there's no feud. We went to dinner. We're fine. I was mad because he still owns. He's still making money, and I'm not. See news about a new Wasp tour? No, I did not. Do they have a new album out? They have new stuff coming out? He probably fought with less people than Dee Snider and Gene Simmons. That is probably true. That is probably true. Most of them, a couple of them, he's like, he does some interview and they're bringing these people up, and on a couple of them, he's He's like, he's like, who? I don't know who that is. And they show him a picture of the guy, and he's like, I'm serious, I don't know who that is. Well, in 1997, his band, whatever, he's like, I don't, I guess, I don't know, I guess he said something stupid, and then I went back at him. He's like, I don't know. They're performing the first album in its entirety. Really? That is interesting. I mean, I'm not going to go. You'll go and tell me how great it is, but I will not. I will not go because I will just not go to anything anymore. The next concert I will be to will be probably at MondoCon to hear all the Deep Purple songs. They're only playing New York City so far. I won't go unless it's more local. Like at the high school, like at the high school your kids go to, that kind of elementary school. It'll cost me twice as much to get to the show as the tickets cost if I go into the city to see them. Yeah, and that's a lot. Maybe triple the cost of a ticket nowadays. What was I seeing? Somewhere that somebody was saying they were going to the Arts Center for some concert, and they were just going to get two lawn seats, and with everything it was $400. I'm like, holy crap! I remember I would bitch if the tickets at the Art Center, if seats at the Art Center were like $25 back in the '80s. I'd be like, this is ridiculous. I am not paying $25 to see Don Henley. $22 to see Whitesnake? Are you crazy? Like, you're paying $400. My daughter wanted to for Father's Day, she wanted to get me tickets for me and her to go see Bowling for Soup was playing in St. Augustine. And the cheapest seats, which were like lawn seats, were $75. That was the ticket start, and it was almost $100 with all the added fees and stuff. And they play like an hour and 15-minute set, no opening band. And I'm like, what? That I don't spend over $200 for us to go see. I'll just listen to I'm old. I'll just listen to Spotify. If you spend $400 for the lawn at the Art Center, you are a fool. Yeah, I'm like, that is crazy. I don't even know how much. Like, if you go to see Ace Frehley, what does Ace charge you? At the friggin' around the corner over there. Can't be that much, I would imagine. The Art Center gets more and more ridiculous every year, though, because there's preferred seating sections on the lawn now. On the lawn? Plus chair rentals? These people are making a buck. I'm sure the parking is ridiculous now as well. Plus 25 cans of beer. Wow. Like, hey, let's go to this concert. Let's go see this concert. I want to go see Dave Matthews and spend $1,000 plus preferred parking. Just ridiculous. So I watched a video this morning, Frank, about Kiss. See, I can see spending $400 before you even get in the gate. Yeah, that's ridiculous. So it's like late 70s. Setting up for you. Late 70s, Gene Simmons cannot sleep. They just gotten off of a tour or something or some appearance, and he has jet lag and he's awake and he's working on 3 songs. I don't know if you've heard this or not. You probably have. Well, for those who haven't. So he decides, he was also working at that time, it's like 1978, 1979, whatever. He is doing those demos for Van Halen. So he calls the Van Halen brothers, and he asks what they're doing, and of course they're probably up, getting high. They're awake, and he said, come over to the studio, I want you to cut some demos for me for Kiss. And they play the songs, and one of the songs is Christine 16. And there's no guitar solo for it. And Eddie Van Halen, in one take, plays the guitar solo. And it gets recorded. And Gene Simmons loves his guitar solo so much that Ace Frehley figures out what notes have even been played. And he recorded it like a bunch of times until they got it perfect. So the recording you hear is note for note what Eddie Van Halen did off the top of his head that Ace Frehley basically just copied. I thought that was kind of interesting. The more you know. The Christine 16 doesn't sound like an Eddie Van Halen solo. Well, I think I forget what the other 2 songs were from that album, but Gene Simmons had already had the songs, the structure, and all that stuff. So they played him a bunch of times, and I think what they said was like Eddie Van Halen, who was a big fan of Ace Frehley, tried to play an Ace Frehley solo, figuring, I'll just throw something together, you can fill in the hole here. And it sounds like to you, it sounds like an Ace Frehley solo. Can't remember what the other 2 songs, though, were. That's Rock and Roll Over, I believe. Yeah, whatever album that is, it's from 3 of those songs that they did the demos for. But that was the only thing that really stayed. There you go. Gene Simmons invented Van Halen. According to him, he did. He's the one who did their first demos, and he found them. According to him. Gillis wrote Happy Birthday and the Star Spangled Banner. Yep. I also watched another video. I love watching those Instagram videos. Usually I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I don't want to get out of bed unless I have to pee. And then I'll just watch, I'll watch Reels or I'll watch, Instagram, and I'll just lay there for like 45 minutes and watch crap because I just don't want to get out of bed and face the day. And there was a video about all the merchandise that Kiss has ever done, and like tens of thousands of items It was crazy. Hey, Amanda. Tell you your last day without your daughter? The Amanda Ward. Yep, the Amanda Ward. And so it was just the amount, so I think they were talking about like the craziest. I think one of the videos would be like the top ten dumbest kiss items or something like that. I didn't see that one though. I gotta go back and find that one and watch that one. I can only imagine based on all the things that I've seen so far. Shorty home, got out at noon. God forbid the last day of school they have a full day. So, well, enjoy the next couple of months. Hopefully you can get some work in and hopefully you spend some time with your daughter. I'll try not to use any profanity in case she's around. Or maybe Uncle Armand's the one who's going to teach her profanity. Could be one of my goals. But in different languages. I think that would be better for everybody. She's heard it already. Probably. She's probably taught you a few words. These kids today. So my goal today is just basically just to write on random things. I know I got a weekend coming up. So tomorrow, my wife has to go to work because they're doing stuff in the building and they don't have a maintenance person. So she becomes the de facto maintenance person and has to let vendors in and stuff. So she might be gone for like 8 hours tomorrow. Or if she can find somebody to cover for that, my daughter's coming over and they're gonna bake some goods. So probably some cookies or some banana bread, stuff like that. And then I will get to be here, put my headphones on, and get some writing in. And then Sunday, all the girls are going out for some kind of brunch thing or something. So, which is fine, because then I get to stay home and get some writing in. So I'm hoping for Saturday and Sunday, 2 big writing days. I will also probably watch some baseball. There's Ben. How's it going? I'm off work today. Just finished a week's worth of chores around the house. And I'm going to try and get some writing done before the... Whoa, watch the language. Adderall wears off. There you go. Get some work in. Get some writing in. I'm doing the big large foot conference tomorrow. Oh, very good. Have fun. I think it's here next weekend or the weekend after. In Ocala. Me and my daughter went last year. She refuses to go again. So do I. Glad to have everybody in, hanging out, doing some stuff. Enormous Foot and Paranormal Conference. The guy from Expedition Bigfoot canceled. What? What a jerk. He's still supposed to be here. He hasn't canceled here yet. But again, I think it's like the week after that. And then that dude who wears that hat is supposed to be here. There's some Ron or Rob Moorhead guy that's supposedly a big deal. I don't know. Most of them I've seen them. Like Chuck is a huge fan of all these guys. I remember last year when I went, I was taking pictures of like, oh, Chuck, do you know this guy? He's like, oh my God, that's so and so. Go talk to him. I'm like, no, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No. What am I going to say? Oh, I love watching your bullshit on the Bigfoot shows. And to you, everything is Bigfoot. Oh, there's some. Oh, two blades of grass have been bent. Well, only Bigfoot can do that. I mean, not 10,000 other things. He couldn't pay me to talk to him. Now, if you paid me, I would talk to him. That one guy, I can't remember his name. Chuck absolutely loves this guy. He's like the big authority on Bigfoot. I remember he was doing a 2 hour talk with slides and everything at the Bigfoot conference last year, and he said there were roughly 78 Sasquatch in Florida in groups of 6 or 12. Bobo. No, I don't believe it was Bobo. And he pointed out all the places that the if you give me a pizza, I'll consider thinking about talking to him. Exactly. At the thing in Ocala, I think they had overpriced pizza slices, so that was something. The food line was ridiculous. Is that like the convention, like a convention center where all the horses are out in Ocala? And there was one line for food and drink, and there was like always like 100 people in line. But if they go through portals, couldn't it be the same 6-sided everywhere? I'm going to stop with these questions. Yeah, it could be, because they can roam for hundreds of miles each night, and I'm thinking nobody's seeing Sasquatch. If this Sasquatch is coming from like here, say to Daytona Beach, right? We'll call it here to Daytona Beach is 100 miles. Let's just say. From here to there, nobody is seeing it moving around. Nobody's seeing it in that territory. Come on. His old friend of mine was and probably still is obsessed with Bigfoot. Well, is that person's name Chuck Buda? Because that's who was very obsessed with it. I love watching those shows. I don't necessarily believe in any of that garbage. But it's interesting to watch. It's interesting also as a writer for stories. I've written 2 Bigfoot novellas so far that are actually very good sellers for me. Maybe at some point I will write another one. How did you know? I know things. I drink coffee and I know things. Getting very windy out. Very windy outside. Hi, I'm Sasquatch. A Sasquatch of their own featuring Yeti Spaghetti as the catcher. Wow. I'm waiting on a package to arrive that I have to sign for. I'm hoping it happens during Twitch, so I can have an unboxing. There was a movie that came out recently about Sasquatch family living in the wild. Harry and the Hendersons? I know that's not it. If you go on Tubi, there's about 80,000 Sasquatch movies. Liqueur? Yes. My wife saw something yesterday and she's like, "Oh, look at this. This is cool." I'm like, "Well, order it." And she's like, "Well, no, you order it." And then I did, and I told her how much it was, and she's like, "Holy crap." I said, "You're the one who told me about it." Which is funny because I have not had a drink in this house since last MondoCon. And then it was like a shot or two of something. I think Roger and Nick polished off a bottle of whiskey, Glenfiddich, but then Roger brought a bottle with him. So, and I think that bottle had already been opened. So we ended up with more liquor than when we started. Where else would a Sasquatch family live? That is true. I think it was released at the Sundance Festival. Pappy Van Buffalo Trace. It is the same company now. No, not something like crazy expensive, but something that's like over. I think with the taxes and the shipping, it was well over $100 for an alcohol that will likely just sit on my shelf. That's not bad though. I've been cutting back on my alcohol consumption. I'm really not that much of a drinker. I'm more of a collector. So like I'm like, oh, Leonard Skinner has a whiskey, let's buy it. Matthew McConaughey has a whiskey, buy it. Darius Rucker, Terry Bradshaw, Brad Paisley, and my wife is even worse. My wife does not drink at all. My wife has never had alcohol in her life, and she doesn't want to, but she loves buying alcohol for me because she likes the bottles or the stories behind stuff. And so that's why if you ever came to my house, my liquor cabinet is like 100 something bottles of various alcohols, mostly bourbon and rum. Is it D. Schneider bourbon? No, D. Schneider was the coffee. Remember, I ordered D. Schneider coffee, and then they never sent it. And like 6 months later, then they sent me my D. Schneider coffee. It wasn't bad either. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I did open and drank it, and it was not bad at all. I also have a lot of coffee. I do. They should be here this week, and it like helps cats or something. I don't know. I just wanted the coffee. I don't really care about saving cats. But did the feed just crap out? Maybe my power has been bumping all the time. Today my power it a couple of times. I think everybody's using their air conditioning today. My wife likes a Texas whiskey we found when we lived in Texas. It's called TX. It's made in Fort Worth. I know exactly what that is. The audio cut out, but it's back. But your video is frozen. Is it? There's Chad Hoey. Speaking of Texas whiskey, yeah, my video is frozen. You can still hear me, right? Yeah, the I hear because I got everything through the battery backup, so all the stuff is through there, and I heard it click, which means the power. It didn't turn anything off. My internet's still on. Can you hear me? You can still hear me though, right? This video is gonna look awesome on YouTube later on. I hear you. I relaunched the Sufros. I can hear you. All right. I guess you're just gonna have to have that picture of me staring like that for a while. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It says I'm good. My bit rate's good. My other stuff is good. I don't know what happened. Weird. Always something. Maybe I will. Um, maybe I will end this sooner than later. What program are you using to stream from? That's none of your effing business, buddy. OBS Studio is linked to the Twitch stuff. I thought it was just me and exited it and came back. Yeah. You may be able to reset the video source. Well, how the F do you do that? I don't know how to do that. There's Nick's in. So I don't know what's going on. I guess my video froze. Now the web. Yeah, see the webcam or the screen works, but just the webcam source can be deactivated and then reactivated to fix a frozen source. Okay, so I'm going to go to webcam. And we'll just pull it out. All right, so this might get a little weird. I don't know how to do that. What are we doing? Yeah, I don't know how to do any of that. Don't confuse him, he's hanging out by the thread. I know, right? The webcam source can be deactivated and then reactivated to fix a frozen source. It's easy for you to say. Is it working now? Is it working? It looks like it's working on my end. Hopefully it worked, because then I just did something. I mean, Ben with the save there. Can anybody see it? Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? It worked! Huzzah! Once I figured out all the crap, I was like, okay. Yeah, so basically I had to click on the webcam, and then I had the deactivate button above it. So that was... But now you look like Ernest Borgnine. I always look like Ernest Borgnine. Ernest Borgnine was a good-looking guy. Don't make fun of Ernest Borgnine. My favorite Ernest Borgnine, him and Bill Shatner in Raining Blood. Great movie. I'm glad you were on, because Frank wouldn't have helped. Frank would have just made up a bunch of stuff and I would have wiped out my Twitch. Good song, too. Never heard of it. It's a movie and a song, Frank. Frank, I thought you were getting on the Twitch at some point. I think we're going to do Twitch. We're going to do live Twitch on Saturday night from MondoCon. Classic Frank. Frank's a crazy bastard. Ben, too bad you're not coming to MondoCon in August, or you could meet Frank. I was drawing little stick figures where your video should have been. Alright. You know what? It's not bad either. Oh. Yeah, something's going on with the power today, because my phone is being charged and it keeps clicking on and off the charge thing. I'm thinking if I do anything, it'll be on the YouTube. I could have, maybe next year. Maybe if I invite you next year, you sons of... Oh, yeah. I'm thinking if I do anything, it'll be on YouTube. I'm actually getting a little bit of, not a lot, a little bit of traction on YouTube, posting these videos up there, and I have them in my walk-in talks and some of the other videos that have been up there for a while. I should have some books finished by then. MondoCon is not about if you have books written or not. MondoCon is if you are a writer and you want to spend 3 days hanging out with other writers and writing and talking and stuff. YouTube is a good idea, Frank. I'll trade for Ben if he doesn't bring his guitar. Yeah. I'm a little worried about the guitar thing, to be honest with you. What would you do on YouTube, Frank? Would you write? Would you do skits? Would you do interviews? Would you bring back Bazong? I finished nothing, you keep going back. Yeah, Nick's been here the last 50 years doing this, and that dude ain't writing barely anything. Bring back Bazong. And this day and age and this climate, every guest you have eventually will do something stupid and get canceled. You'd be like, yeah, Bazong 2.0. Yeah, we've done 30 interviews, but I'm only allowed to share 3 of them at this point. Oh, wait. Somebody did something dumb. Okay, I'm only allowed to share 2 of them at this rate. Who'd I interview? I don't know. I did a podcast last night. It went live today. This goes like a half an hour. The guy was cool, and I got to talk a lot. And I talked about not doing the podcast and all that. And then afterwards, me and my wife went to dinner. And I was telling her about the interview, and I was like, yeah, I used to do Armcast, and I used 400 episodes. And she's like, you are not doing podcasting again, are you? And I laughed, and I'm like, no, why does it sound like? Does it sound like? She's like, it sounds like you're reminiscing. Like I am. I'm what is it? Rose tinted glasses. I'm remembering all the fun I had, but I'm not remembering all the work it was that was not making me any money. And I like being on other people's podcasts rather than having to do all the work. Who would I interview? I never pulled an interview. Member berries. Exactly. No, but now on this day and age you would have to. You couldn't have somebody and then they because of cancel culture. A bunch of people are like, I interviewed that guy and I'm not having him on. I'm deleting that episode, blah blah blah. Whatever. Then just do it. I really wouldn't. I know. And then you would be canceled. As opposed to things that you would eventually do and get canceled. Yeah, I wouldn't know who to interview now anyway. It started to all get the same. It started where I was interviewing the same people. And I would get like, I figured Chuck canceled it. At this point it looks like it. I think part of my, and even though this is Positive Friday, I don't care. Chadlowski isn't on. A lot of the problem with towards the end of Armcast was I would interview somebody for like two weeks later that the interview would go live. Usually I try to stay a couple weeks ahead. And then as soon as the interview went up, they would immediately fill out the form to be interviewed again. And I'm like, no, we're spreading these out. And I've had people that were on like several times. I mean, there's some people that I would ask to come on. But there are other times like, you're boring and I don't want to interview you for the 3rd time this year. And it was just like, ugh. Never apologize, they never accept it anyway. Yeah, even if your apology is, you know what? I fucked up, I'm very sorry for what I did, there's no excuse. People would rip that apart. Oh, that's all he's going to say? Or are you going to do like that one person we all know who's apparently a lawyer? And he takes your entire apology and then redlines it and explains why you're wrong. Like really, you had to go through all this. In another 10 days or less, nobody's gonna even remember this. You'd interview characters from stories you've written. No, we do not want to hear about characters that Frank has written. Vito Schicchetti, you should interview Vito Schicchetti from the Shocker trilogy. I don't know. It's all very weird. I don't even want to write this crap anymore. I'm being honest. I'm just being honest. Let's see if Tom has not written. Maybe I'll write a little bit on this. Maybe I won't. For someone who didn't want to say anything about it, he sure spent a lot of time editing the apology. Yeah, like way too much. Like his edit was longer than the apology. But that's his thing. Oh, I don't want to talk about this, but I did that once for some dumb anthology I was in. I always get that one we're doing. I used to do like blog tours and stuff when I thought that mattered. And it doesn't. And that was always one of the things they wanted you to do was interview one of your characters. Like that's dumb. I'm sorry, but nobody cares. The Penn anthology, to be exact. Yeah, that was a bad anthology. No, it was not a hit. Not at all. Like the person who's redoing the Winter of Zombie and the Summer of Zombie tours. I'm waiting for that. Oh, write a guest post from one of your characters, and I'm gonna say I'm not doing that. Give me some questions to answer, and I'll answer some questions. But I'm not writing guest post crap about things. Actually, I thought all but 2 stories in that were excellent. Interview Bigfoot. There you go. You didn't like 2. Which 2 stories did you not like? Give me some initials. Give me initials of the authors. One was about crayons and one was mine. I thought yours was good. Crayons. I don't even remember who that one was by. I think that anthology. I think it's still up. I haven't sold that in 2 years, 3 years maybe. I think I actually went wide with it, and it still didn't help. Yellow. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot she was in that. Whatever happened to her, I wonder. I remember she tried to sneak back in, and everybody beat on her again. And that was before all of this cancel stuff. She was wacky. The other was by someone who wasn't on the network very long, but she had like the longest story in that book. If it's the person I think you are, she's writing, but she's also selling courses and BS stuff about like she made some she got one of her stories bought, like one of her romance stories bought by some little shitty company, and they filmed like an hour Lifetime movie Hallmark thing, but not for any of those channels, for like some nothing nobody thing. And now she does, in fact, she'll be up here in one of the Florida Writers Association groups, talking about how to change your book into a TV show or something. I don't know, something stupid like that. Yep, that's her. Yeah, she was both of them that you're talking about were pains in the asses to have to deal with on a almost daily basis. And both of their podcasts did not even last long on the network. Yeah. That's the other thing. I can't imagine. Anytime I think back on all that, and I think of 20 and 30 shows, podcasts that I had to deal with, and all of the crap I had to deal with. As far as everybody's like, why can't I make money? Well, I'm losing money. The other only had a podcast segment, not even a whole podcast. Yeah. Yeah, very annoying. I remember when I saw the yellow girl when she introduced herself at Scares one year. She said, "Oh, look, tell a story." I'm gonna tell a story about her. She came up, and in the Dying Days books, there's a character named Amber. We'll call her Amber. And in the book, one of the characters says, as a joke, Amber is a fat girl name. Because it is. Because every Amber I've ever met in my life is a big girl. And that's not a bad thing. I almost exclusively date big women. Or, marry them. And so she came up and she's like, I remember she's tapping the first Dying Days book, and she's like, in this series you say that Amber is a fat girl name. And I remember just staring at her and saying, yeah, it is. And then she was annoyed, and I remember my wife was sitting there and she kind of chuckled because Amber's a big girl. Like, you didn't walk up at 115 pounds and say Amber's not a fat girl name. You basically said, hey, I'm like 250 pounds, and you're saying Amber's a fat girl name, and I'm 4'2". Yeah, it's a fat girl name. And you've proven my point. I appreciate it. She was a big name dropper. I think you're thinking of the wrong person. Well, then who am I thinking of? Yellow is Amber. I bought the pen anthology. That one was on sale. There you go. Well, thank you for buying it. Also, thank you for not reviewing it like everyone else. Oh, look at your text. Text. Come on. I got literally. There's no text from you. There's no text. You sent me a text? You know me, you can't just do that to me. Did you want me to sign the book with that quote? I thought it had some good stories, and the idea was good. We never made any money. And we never really did anything with it. And again, that thing hasn't sold in years. It might not even be available anymore. Who knows? I think I dropped it to like 99 cents at one point and just left it there. Did you change your number? New phone? Who did? No. Did you send it to the right person? I think my wife paid my phone bill. Literally, I got nothing from you. Oh, all right. Now I know who you're talking about. Oh, all right. The other one, the yellow thing, because Amber, Oh, that one. Yeah. Oh God, man, what a nightmare she was. And it was like I had to record. She was literally on for like a 2-minute segment. And I had to record it like 5 times every time. Because I don't like that. Let me start over. Why? You were doing fine. And she'd have it all written out, and oh my God, what a pain in the ass she was. And then she was a jerk to me after that. Because they basically said, this ain't working out. I'm doing more work editing your segment than editing an hour show of me and Chuck. I don't like the way my voice sounds. Okay, well then let's not waste each other's time here like we've been doing every week. She also would not do more than one segment. I'm like, let's just do like 3 or 4 segments here. So we can do this like once every 3 weeks instead of every single week. I got to sit here with you for an hour. Nope. Every week it was an hour with her for a 2 or 3 minute segment. I think I would be part of a podcast if I didn't have to do any of the work. If all I did was like Chuck did and just show up and we just talk. And then I think it would be fine. The problem is everybody has a podcast. I think you probably got to do like video YouTube stuff now. Or nobody listens anymore. They're all going to watch it. What? What? I don't know what's up with this cat lately. Lonely or something. Rubbing up against me all the time. Yes, I want to be talented. Exactly. I don't want to do all the work anymore. But I also don't want to interview stupid authors. I don't want to do skits. I don't want to watch movies and talk about them anymore. Whatever. There's like nothing that I would do. I don't believe. Is what it is. Podcast is oversaturated now. Literally everybody has a podcast. Everybody. I just got a text from you. Yeah, that person. Yeah, that we just talked about. Yeah. So the text was sent at 1:37. It is now 1:41. So 4 minutes ago you sent me that. I got something's going on here. Same for streams, unfortunately, and social media influencers too. Why did I whistle? Yeah. I'm just going to continue to do the things that I like to do, and hopefully people, will like it. Stop. Now I'm afraid to move my chair because I think I'm going to run her over. Window look. Because somebody's mowing their lawn somewhere. Which is annoying. Let me turn this fan off though. An old man, I got what do you call it? Yeah, one of those. Your intertubes are kinked. Could be. So everybody's posting about StokerCon. Pictures and all this stuff. And a lot of times if I don't go to something, I'm like, minor FOMO on stuff. For you younger kids, that means fear of missing out. And I don't... I'll yell next page. I got no problem with that. Next page! Even though I'm not on the next page yet. Posture check. Yeah, I gotta learn to sit better. There you go. Thank you. But I don't feel that about StokerCon. Like I don't feel like, I wish I was in San Diego. I don't. But I don't feel that about many things lately. If so wanted to go, I would go. I'm not a West Coast fan, so I'm likely never going anywhere on the West Coast. Do tricks, monkey. Not interested. I don't even want to go to Texas, which I think is like halfway across the country. I'm not even sure where it is on the map, but I'm not going any further than that. I do need to get out more, though. My therapy sessions, and I won't have another session for like 3 weeks now, because my therapist is going to Seaside Heights on vacation. He does every year, him and his wife and the grandkids and all that. He's never heard of pork roll, so he said text me what I need to order As I said, pork roll, egg, and cheese on a hard roll. But he's gonna try it this year. But anyway, he said, I need to get out of the house more often. He can tell if I haven't been out of the house in like a week since the last time we talked, which is usually the case. He also suggests I go near water, which I think is a good idea too. And then he also said I should have friends, I should have acquaintances to go to lunch with during the day. So I need to start getting out more, I think. I think that'll be my thing between now and MondoCon, of saying, hey, who's around on what day? We go to lunch once a month. Maybe let's do it another day also. Just a one-on-one, a BS session, two of us, whatever. So I got to start doing that. Ben says, I spent the first 32 years of my life in Texas, couldn't wait to leave, and I haven't been back since. And he's been gone for 48 years past that. So, he's going there to wild out like the other kids? Yeah, pretty much. Yes. The 70-something-year-old man. Every year they go. And this is why his wife likes vacationing in New Jersey. You ready? They go every year. This is why. Well, they got family up there, but they also go because she loves clam chowder. And I said, she loves New Jersey clam chowder. That's interesting. I mean, I don't know. To me, that doesn't make any sense. But New Jersey clam chowder. That's what they're going for. There's Tom Duffy. Did you see they had to close the boardwalk and declare a state of emergency in Seaside last weekend? No, why? What happened? Snooki was there. Get it? That was I think that show's still on. I think they're like Jersey Shore Vacation or something. They all look. They never looked great before, but they all look very, very old and plastic now. They're still screaming and yelling at each other. What happened? What happened in Seaside? I never heard of New Jersey chowder, right? That doesn't seem like a thing. Ben saw something about that on TikTok. Now I'm going to have to look it up. Thanks. Yeah, well, all the things to go to New Jersey for, clam chowder probably wouldn't be one of them. What do you go to New Jersey for? Oh, New Jersey lobster. Tom says you're not going to read the Situation's autobiography because he definitely wrote it. So, yeah, right. I think Jay Wilburn wrote that. It's amazing. I never watched that show, obviously. And most of them people aren't even from really New Jersey anyway. But I remember years ago, my parents were on vacation. They went to visit my aunt back in New Jersey. We're from New Jersey. And they brought Caitlin, my youngest, and she was young, but she was watching, like not super young. She was like a teenager, and she watched Jersey Shore. And I remember they were in Seaside Heights. They had closed off part of the boardwalk because they were filming stuff on the roof of a building. And she took pictures, she could see, the situation in Snooki's. You can see them up there. It was very exciting for her. Fist it was a fight, then someone lit firecrackers during the fight, so everyone thought it was gunshots, and chaos ensued. Ugh. They thought, people from Staten Island are here, shooting at each other again. People are insane. On Memorial Day on Monday, at like 10 o'clock at night, some idiot on the next block over was shooting off fireworks for like an hour. And I'm like, this is what military people died for? So you can have an excuse to shoot off fireworks on Memorial Day? Just dumb. I stopped going to Seaside while the show was on. Insane in the membrane. In high school, we used to love jumping in, taking the T-tops off of my buddy George's Camaro and cruising down to Seaside. And then you were only allowed to pass a point like 3 times in an hour. They gave you a ticket. We'd go down there and cruise in the 80s. Never ever got lucky. Never. I'm a bunch of dorks in ours with those Zubaz pants. Whatever they were called. And then we would play. Oh, look, let's try to win the. Let's try to win a Twisted Sister cassette. Point Pleasant was more my spot anyway. Yeah, I like Point Pleasant. Went down a couple times all the way to what was it, Wildwood. Oh, here's the UPS is here, so this is probably my package. People in my neighborhood shoot off fireworks in the street over house every chance they get. Yeah, well, you live in a awful place. All right, let me go get my package. How's it going? All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Yep, have a good one. So we literally ordered this yesterday? I'm just going to use a scissors. Where the fuck are my scissors? Oh, there. Calm down. Nowadays, we usually go to Long Branch or Sandy Hook. Wildwood is good, but it takes forever to get there. Yeah, that's true. Tom says, I like Wildwood. You can sit on the beach, on the bench, and watch kids snatch purses. Yep, pretty much. I haven't been there yet. Well, you got to be there. All right, so let's open this box up. I mean, I could do a TikTok video of this, but just do this. And then I'll post a picture of it or something like that. Come on. Oh, this shit is so tight in here. Jeez. It's tighter than a Portuguese egg roll. First, I'll show you the box. Flip it over to the unopened side, and then just yeah, right, exactly. So let me see if I get the camera right. Let me move this out of the way. Let's see if you can see what it says and who the picture of is. The Lagavulin. It's the single malt Scotch whiskey. I'm not a really big Scotch fan, but it's got a Caribbean rum cask finish, and it's what do you call it? Nick Offerman. Nick Offerman's alcohol. Let me take the bottle out. He's even on the bottle. So there you go. We'll probably open this up at MondoCon and give it a little taste. I really need to start drinking more though, because I got way too much alcohol. This is an 11-year. All right. There it is. It's here. It's looks delicious. Delish, as the young kids say. Very nice. And it will probably be one of the other 30 bottles that have still not been opened in my house. Ben, when you come of age, you can come over and taste some alcohol. Nick Zinn says, yeah. Or yeah. Sounds after that funny face. So there you go. So there is such is life. Ugh. All right, I think I'm done. My wife's supposed to be working until 3. Then I think she's going to get her toes done or her hair done, something done. So I'm going to try to take a nap and get some writing in. Tom, did I tell you I did a second chapter of our thing? I think I already told you that. Hope you are feeling well. And if you need to talk at all this weekend, I will be here uh, probably on my own. So maybe I need to talk. All right, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Have a great weekend. I probably will. I started the next one. Okay, perfect. I probably should be on Saturday and or Sunday. So I'm not sure what time I will be on yet, but I should be on to get some words in. So hopefully, if you are bored this weekend, you will hang out with me. Appreciate it. All right, everybody. Talk to you later.